Alright, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to my stream. I am working on a game for a game jam. I've mainly been doing the player movement and camera stuff and all that, but now I'm kind of trying to implement this sort of spell system into the movement and the camera system, and also so far this is starting to get a little interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna just jump right in and get working. Sorry if while I'm working, if I'm focused and I'm not really talking all that much. Um, it's just I'm focused. So, but I will respond to messages when I see them, so feel free to shoot me one. Anyway, I'm going to change something here with OBS. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna recap on my progress here. So I did fix a little bit as far as the camera angle and stuff for third person. Kinda I looked at like Breath of the Wild and The Witcher 3, since they both use third person cameras. I tried to get a better angle and stuff. I think I've got it pretty good here. Though I don't like, is the Y inverted? I think I left, no, the Y is not inverted. Let's invert the Y. Try that again. There we go. That feels much better. Anyway, or at least for me. So then we should be able to, we can still push things, we can still go up inclines, down inclines, and fall off things. We can go upstairs, except for that last step, which is higher because it's just too far of an incline, but that's meant. It's on purpose. Okay, go upstairs, go downstairs, push stuff around, go under, go. Actually, how does the camera? Ooh. Interesting. I'll have to check that one out. I mean, I guess that's not bad. Okay. That's weird. Alright, well. Upstairs, downstairs, and then I've got different angled inclines just to check to see. Yep, can those two are the ones that I can't go up, and then these ones I can. I need to eventually get it to where I lock my mouse in place a little. Okay, there we go. Alright, what I was working on was a little bit of like the spell system. So this cube right here specifically is it's an interactable object. So then yeah, I have something where if I face it, it has an on start hover, and then when I leave it on end hover, so that, and then when I hit the mouse button, oh wait, okay, oh there we go. So then we've got some kind of like node spell system here and all, which I'm still trying to implement and all and getting stuff, but I wanted to also test the camera, which honestly looks freaking awesome. I need to lock the mouse controls. Actually, I'm probably gonna I'm gonna do a whole different map, input map for this, and just swap the maps. Because at the moment I can't. Yeah, I can't leave this. That's okay. We'll probably do is see, instead of interacting with the mouse button, I'm probably gonna do E, so that way when we hit E, we go into the casting the spell system, and then we're gonna have it to where you can hit E again and it'll go out. Because the mouse button will be used for drawing the actual spell. There we go. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right. Sorry, I was talking to my wife for a little bit. Get back to stuff here. Hear that. All right, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna work on, what I need to do next. Obviously the camera on the spell thing is gonna have to change a little. Let's get the input. Actually, yeah, let's get the inputs working. Can I just disable this, or no? I'm probably just gonna do it. All right, well, no fire button. We have move, we have look, we have toggle console, we have return. I'm gonna do interact, and then I also need to test this out on controllers too. So we're gonna do E. There we go. Controller scheme, mouse, and well, keyboard and mouse. Okay. So there's our interact. So then now what I need to do is I need to map it. So we have a save asset here. So we have our game manager here. I have a game manager here that it's just stuff that doesn't really, it's mainly just stuff that doesn't pertain to any one thing. It's just handling certain stuff. So the input manager. I have a magic manager that I'm kind of working on to help with the spells. And then the debug manager works with consoles, but it will work with other things. And then I've got this, just the input, the player input, which is used. What is, no, I don't want that. Okay, so, oh wait, not yet. We don't need the code yet. The player input. I need to go to the events here. So, move, look, toggle console, return, and then interact. So, oh, I don't have a method yet. Hold on, I can't do that yet. Okay. So, the input manager is actually quite clean when it comes to code right here. All right, so, although some of it's a little different. So like, oh, actually this is it. Since it's like a trigger and all, okay. Because I don't want to, the main thing is like, I don't want to store this input because it's a toggle. Like, I just want it to be like, you press it and that's it for that instance. And then when if you do a check later and all, this is false. I just want this to be true during a frame. So I do it this way. So triggered. Because I don't want to store this, because if I store this, it's going to be wrong. It'll always, yeah, anyway, yeah. So I do it this way instead, where it's just a get and it just grabs it from it just looks to grab it. So then interact, so that should work. That should work for all controllers as well. So then, yeah, this one's different. So for the interact, I don't need to I don't need a method. I don't need to map an event to that. Instead, what I need to do, well, actually, it's all set up. It's technically all set up. So we have our interact here, and so this guy, I reference it in in the interaction controller, which is attached to the player. So in that, I'm doing raycast for the interactable, which is this thing, but it's fairly solid. Because I'm just looking for anything that has this, oops, okay, there we go. I'm looking for anything that has this interactable component on it. And then if I find one and it's within range and meets all this stuff, then I set it to my current target. So then if during this frame update, if interact input is triggered and there is a current target, then I just run the onInteract command on it. Which for our magic thing, it's this levitatable. Levitatable. So this is an iCastable. The guy who originally did this, it was a iCast spell. This just says iCastable because I'm trying not to modify his scripts. I'm leaving those as is. Instead, I'm just using what he has coded so far and just making modifications to try to adapt it to what we have. So we have this levitatable, which his was called levitatable object, but this I attached to something with a rigid body, so that cube, this is what's attached to that. But the castable also inherits from the iInteractable, which has, this just has spell specific things, but the iInteractable, good definition, has the range, start hover, on interact, and on end hover. Now the hover will probably be used for showing like a key prompt or a name or a label or something like that when you're looking at it and you're close enough, or might make it to where the item has some kind of highlight. That's what this is for. So we go all right, so what we need to do is, on the levitatable, this has the on interact. So with this calls the magic manager instance. This magic manager, actually all of the managers I have here are something called it's a singleton behavior. So basically it's a singleton that's put on an object that's used as a that's put on an object as a behavior. But it's a singleton, so then like basically like there's only one singleton is basically encoding there's only one instance of this object ever. Which is what we want for a manager, because we want it to be consistent. So then so what it does, so it's magic manager instance. Actually, let me go into this. So the singleton behavior, this is how this works. So here's our instance, and it makes sure that there's only one instance and stuff like that. So that's all good. So this entire code handles that, which is perfectly fine. So we get this. So what we're calling is the start casting, and we pass the iCastable behavior. And so what this does, it does everything. It toggles the camera view, it sets the node to active and stuff. I haven't tested that out yet. Well, I don't have the code in here for that yet. Let me first, I want to get it first where we can start the casting and end the cast, or start the casting and canceling the casting, or ending the casting. So I want to reference this code here. So we have end, there should have been an end cast. Should grab this. There we go. So the end cast, so wait, if is casting, then although, well, we're not using, well, we are setting that, okay. Actually, if I remember correctly, this was wrapped in a, I guess this is just for, so if we are not casting, which this should never, actually this might, okay, never mind, that would probably trigger, so we'll just do that. If isn't casting, we'll go through this and stuff like that. Okay, if it is casting, end it. We want to toggle the camera view back. We want to disable the node panel. Actually, we need to do it. We need to do it in opposite order. Line notes clear. Yes. Then this should work. Let me get, hold on. Actually, so we have interact, but we can name it something different. Okay, so let's make a new action map. We're gonna call this, spellcasting. All right. So for the spellcasting, we will have a draw. Wait a minute. Hold, or does he draw? Or does he hold it the button, or does he just click? I think he just clicks. We'll find out. Anyway. Might have to come up with a different interface or something. Okay, well, for now, we'll just do them. We'll just do mouse. Click or not. Fine, mouse. Left button press. Okay, so we have our draw of our int casting. Our int casting will be E. Oh, and then we need our mouse movement. The point. Yeah, we'll just call it point. Oh wait, it's a value. Let me look at UI. Action type pass through vector 2. Gotcha. Position is what we want. Mouse and keyboard. All right. So then we should be able to, I'm gonna go to our input. Yeah, so they have the spell casting here. So the mouse click is just going to be a trigger. Well, yeah, draw is going to be a trigger, and casting is going to be a trigger, and then point is it's a vector 2, so we want to store that. Let's go to our input manager here. Okay, so I'm going to call this draw input, and I'm going to call this and casting input. And this is point put, which we're private. Okay. So we just need to make the one method for pointing. Look, void on point input action dot callback context. And then we just need, nope, we need something like this. Point input. Then we need to map that. Save. Okay. All right. So we have that in place. So then let's go back to the magic man. So start casting. So we're gonna want to put in the switch here. Toggle input map. Actually, no, not here. Well, we probably gonna add this to our input manager instead. Public void switch input map. I'll probably pass in like the name of the input map for this, but for now, player input dot current action map equals player input. Actually, let me look this up. Unity input system set current action map. Switch action map, okay. One and this one, but impossible to change in runtime. Action map used. Okay. So then this does work, it's just something was wrong. Player input dot actions dot get action map. Okay, here we go. Dot ID. We'll probably want to do this. Just pass that in. Switch current action map. Oh wait, it's a. Oh, here we go. Switch current action map. Map name or ID. String. I'm gonna call this action map ID. Name maybe. Player put dot actions dot get. Nope. How was that done? Player input actions get action map. Find action map. Throw if not found. I'd say yes, because that's a bit of an issue. Name or ID. So then action map name, and yes, I do want it to throw. Wait, this returns an input action. Can I convert to string? Must have changed things since then. Wait, dot ID. Oops. Nope, the IDs are good. Well, you know what? Whatever. There we go. We'll just do that. So then we can call this in the Magic Manager. So input manager dot instance dot switch input map to spell casting. And then we want to do the same for here. Actually, let's rearrange some of this stuff. There. First, this should say player. All right. That should do it. All right, let's see how this works. I'm just gonna test out going into the spellcasting mode. Okay. Okay. Hey, my mouse movement is actually locked in. Interesting. Oh, because we changed the controls, so you can't move it around, so that's great. Then if I hit E, oh no, that didn't work. Something didn't work. So E is not working. Why is that not working? End casting. So we have, maybe I named it wrong. Okay, so it's called spellcasting end casting. So that should probably be. Double check these. Yeah. Draw end casting and point. So input manager, draw, end casting, and point, which is mapped here. Oh, I had to check for this. My bad. I didn't even put in a check. Okay, so we want to do this here. If input manager dot instance dot end casting input. And then we want to end cast. That should do it. So we go into casting mode. If I hit E, we go out of casting mode, and we're back to normal. Well, that works. That's awesome. Look at that. Okay, cool. So now I need to implement the rest of this stuff. So we need to now be able to draw. Cast spell. He's got this update trace, which this is okay, is casting and input mouse button. Get mouse button. So we do need to check this. Except we can't do it this way. input. Okay. Dot draw input and is casting. Then we need to update trace. Grab this. I just noticed that I need, there we go, end casting, update trace. Okay. New pointer event data. Okay. Event system position. Event data dot position. So this needs the mouse position. So input. Actually, I'm gonna do this. Vector 2 mouse position equals input manager dot instance dot not get component dot point input. There. Screen point dot z. That doesn't make sense. Specify vector 3. There. That would probably work. Screen point dot z. Okay. I guess let's see what happens. Object reference not set to line 62. So here, event system dot current dot raycast all. Is it because we don't have an event? We don't have an event system. Okay. UI event system. Place with input. Thank you. Let's try that. Well, that's not correct. Because we don't have. No, the line render is on the actual node panel, so then. Draw lines in world space or local space. Local space? I would think it'd be local. Oh, guess not. Although, let's see. Cast shadows. No. Fact. Cast padding. Targeting. Hmm. Okay, so it is drawing the lines, it's just very odd. The line doesn't show. Ah. Finding the mouse to is kind of annoying at the moment. Where is that? Comment that out for now. Update trace. It's whenever I click. So mouse position. Check if we need to add a new node to out. Generate line to render. See if I can figure this one out. I go over here. E. Okay, so camera's moved to here. Dock that. There's the canvas, which looks fine. Wait, a screen of space canvas with no specified camera acts like an overlay canvas. Well, I do want it to be an overlay canvas, technically, don't I? Hold on. Because it's technically... Okay. The render mode, okay. Screen space overlay. In this mode, the canvas is scaled to fit the screen and then rendered directly without reference to the scene or a camera. The UI will be rendered even if there is no camera in the scene at all. Okay. Screen space camera. Camera is rendered as if it were drawn on a plane object, some distance in front of a given camera. I guess that would make sense. Okay. So never mind, the screen space camera is probably what we need. Which, there. Okay. So, hit play and see what we get. So if you notice in the scene view on the left there, that's my, that's how everything works and stuff. And then the red line is basically the interaction ray. Yeah, if I'm within range. So, okay. It's not bad. Oh, line drawing is still weird. Oof. Hold on. Oh, oops. Yeah, the line drawing is messed up. I will see if I can fix that, but although let me take a look here. Plane distance. What is plane distance? I'm guessing this plane distance is probably distance from the camera. Where's that documentation? Actually, let's enable this for now, which it should show. Yep, it shows up right there. Let's disable that and enable the spell camera. There we go. So that's the spell camera. Which we'll probably want to adjust a little bit. if I can get it at a decent angle. Is it the dampening? I think it's the dampening. Dampening is 2. Actually, make it 0. Oh wait, aim distance. Actually, I probably don't need this. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. Actually, no, I'll remove it. Actually, it's not even in front of the camera. Okay, so that puts it further out. What if we did it at 8? Now it's getting cut off. There we go. It's a little better. But no, I'd be able to see it. Uh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I don't want it too far. Let's put it at 3 and see how that does. Hmm. Uh, yeah, let's adjust the field of view. Actually, it might just be our panel here is too big. Scale. Really? That seems a little bit more manageable. I'm gonna try that. Of course, this will probably change a little later. Um, All right, let's switch back to our other stuff. There we go. And now we have a problem with the drawing. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Sorry, I was reading some info on the Game Jam. I have not been keeping track of my time, so I'm gonna take a break now. Actually, this is a good time to take a break. So I will be back in a little bit. See you in a bit. Alright, I am back. And if you see a little, I'm currently sitting in my Game Jam team's Discord at the moment. Uh, that way, if any team members need to like talk about like what I'm doing or anything like that, they can come in and talk. But anyway, so if they do pop in, they'll actually show up on the left here. Excuse me. Actually, I should probably, well, I guess I'll maybe not turn that off. Actually, let me see if I can do a little stream here. I'm gonna move. Where do I want to move it? Actually, at the moment, I guess I guess I'll just leave it right there, but disable it at the moment. There we go. Okay, so then if someone comes in, I'll turn that on if I remember. I honestly wish, because that's OBS's not OBS, Discord stream kit, and I honestly wish they had it to where you could like not include certain people or not make certain people visible in there, because then I'd just put my own name in that, and it'd just be like, hey, it's like I'm not there when I'm actually here talking with Facecam instead. Anyway, uh, so back to what I was doing. So we need to get the lines working. Actually, since we made that change, I need to double check to make sure that this is working just fine. E. Yeah, the lines are not working. Okay. Let me check the settings. So discrete system. This is the project that he has. I can't run it though because um input stuff and all that. Camera boom. Nope. So he has it's under the camera. Discrete magic controller. So the line render is on that. And then there's the canvas. Tolerance, positions, color. Actually, can I just copy component? Let's go back to our test scene. So I have for the line render, I have it on the actual panel, which I thought would make sense. Well, let's remove that. Base component as new. So then this should have all the settings and stuff. And the cast material, which I didn't have set. Okay. See what this looks like. Maybe it was just something with the settings. And I just need to have the right settings too. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait. Something is weird? It's drawing just fine, sort of. Except well, that part's weird. Now I couldn't tell from his he had the teammate of mine had a so how am I able to draw where how am I able to draw anywhere? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay, well that's progress. That's some progress. Mouse position. Zoom in. Point four. Generate line to render. Wait. Results. Compare tag magic node. So I need to actually look at this. I've never used a pointer event or pointer event data. Check if we need to add any node to outline definition. Event data position. So does this get the mouse position? No. Results. New list of raycast results. Okay. If results count is greater than 0. Then it's looking to see if there's a magic node tag. That's untagged. I'm guessing the node, okay, these are magic nodes. If the first result has a magic node tag and nodes.count equals 0, or wait, if node line nodes.add results transform. I'm confused. Generate line to render. That's the position of all vertices. Let me actually look this up. This is something I wouldn't mind learning. Let's see here. So Unity. Draw line on canvas. Mouse down to start the line, mouse drag to stretch the line out from its origin to the current. Okay. Mouse up to let the line in to set the line and instantiate a boarded On a canvas hovering over a raw. I need to. Spectrosity. Oh. Okay. Line render. Okay, for the line drawing part of this, you could also look into line render if that's a more preferred solution. Downside, this only works if you're working with a canvas that is set to screen space camera. Okay, which is what we have, which honestly works fine. So if that is not an option, don't bother with line renders. Okay, an example on how you could I'm guessing achieve that with line render. So if mouse down, you start drawing. Else if, okay, so wait a minute, down button. Okay, so I need to actually change the input a little bit. So start drawing line, preview line, end drawing line. Okay, so start position is from the mouse position. So I guess first I need to actually get that working. Draw. Actually, crap. Click list. So let's look for Unity input system. Let's hold. How to use the hold interaction. Try to switch the interaction from press to hold, but it doesn't work at all. The function is once. Performed being called when the button is held for longer than duration and cancel. So what do we have? So, huh. Interactions. An interaction represents a specific input pattern. For example, a hold is an interaction that requires a control to be held, or at least a minimum amount. At least a minimum amount of time. Interactions derive responses as on actions. You can place them on individual bindings or an action as a whole, in which case they apply to every binding on the action. Interaction waiting for input has been started. That is, it received some of its expected input but is not complete yet. Performed, interaction is complete. So how... If you haven't specified added an interaction to a binding or its action, the default interaction applies to the binding value or the following behavior. As soon as a bound control becomes actuated, gotcha, the action goes from waiting to started, and then immediately to performed, and back to started. One callback occurs on followed by callback. As long as the bound control remains actuated, the action stays in started and triggers performed whenever the value of the control changes. So wait, when you press the button, it goes from waiting to started. And it stays in started. Where's the long wait, I think. It goes from waiting to started and then immediately to performed. And back to started. For as long as the bound control remains actuated, so while it's being held down, the action stays in started and triggers performed whenever the value of the control changes. So basically when you lift up. Okay. When the bound stops being actuated, the action goes to cancelled. And then back to waiting. FD. Oh, so actually it's right here. So control is actuated. Controls changes. This also triggers when started. Okay. So we're actually looking for if this is still. Where's the act? Which we don't want. Okay. Excuse me. Trying to figure out how. Look here. Input system click and drag. Simple mouse drag. Hmm. Technically, we have like 3 different. Actually, dang it. Event system drag and drop. Oh. I mean, this is how we're doing it now. Like, triggered. Oh. Hmm. I might have to fix some of these input systems. So, Here's how I can do it. Actually, this is probably the better way of doing it. All right. Pressed and released, so I can do the Boolean thing there. So we could actually do this correctly. Because there's only certain states that we care about. And we could modify it whatever way. So actually, let me do. I should probably also make sure this stuff is separated into their things. So player input map, action map. Except that's start. And that's something else. There. Player action map, so move, look, toggle console on return. And then down here we have spell casting action map. Okay. So then down here, public void on interact. Excuse me. Input action dot callback context. So we can still do it this way. It's just we are going to do an if context dot performed canceled. Yeah. Performed and canceled. So dot performed. So in this case, it would be private vector, no, not vector tool, private bool underscore interact input equals false. Actually, technically we don't need to put that because that's already false. Actually, let's also do we'll do the draw and the end spell casting input as well. So then these can be set to this. Right, and then we can go down to here. So if context dot performed, then we want to do underscore interact input equals false. No, sorry, true. Else if context dot canceled. It was canceled, right? Yep, canceled. And it's been released. interact input equals false. Although, let me go back to that documentation. So technically, controls changes actuation. This also triggers when started triggers. But the performed is set to true constantly. And to started and immediately to performed and back to started. One callback on performed. Okay. As long as the main's actuated, the action stays in started and triggers performed. Wait, no. Callback. Tag. Maybe we need to specify certain stuff. Can't get interact, update interact. Oh, wait, update interact. Context has started, else context cancelled. Yeah, that's basically what I thought. Okay. So then this works. And then we can do the same thing for the other ones. So on draw and on end spellcasting or in casting. And we need to make sure that we got the right ones here. Draw. And then end casting input. There. Now I need to hook those into the actual inputs. Okay, so interact. there. I might eventually just not code it to where I don't have to do this at all. Instead, just hook into it. But I'll work on that later. Then spellcast. Draw. And end casting. We'll test these out. End casting. Done. Okay. So okay, cool. Oh wait, it actually works a little bit better, I guess. Sort of. I'm not sure. This might have to get fixed later, but let me see. I'm gonna see if we can get this. Let's continue with the rest of the spellcasting system because we need it to actually do something. So I update trace. So what determines the cast? Oh, wait. Else if casting cast spell and incast. But oh, it's on the get mouse button up. Hmm. I'd like to actually, can I get it to where I can see the inputs here? That'd be great. Look. Apparently it doesn't like this. Unity show property in inspector. Properties usually have private backing fields. Yeah, you could do something like this. That is what I'm doing. Oh, but okay, gotcha. Serialized fields. Then we should see stuff pop up. Yeah, there we go. Actually, that looks great. Let's see this. Oh, cool. Look at that. Right. So you don't really see the interact input trigger much at all because it's so quick. Okay, but that stays true when you hold down. So that's awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure if you have to hold it. Okay. Well, either way, it looks like with how the system was designed, when you release, that's when it does the check. Oh, so then we have it to where we're checking it here. So if that's true and is casting, let's just do this. Else if is casting and this is false. So basically we release, because that's how it was doing here. So get mouse button up. So on mouse, okay, so no, on mouse down, which is the true, and is casting, we update the trace. If mouse button up, if it's not casting, that starts casting. Okay, so no, we don't need this anymore. Else if is casting, so it is casting and they release the button. Cast spell and end the cast, yes. Else if spell active in spell. Huh. So the cast spell. For each node in the line nodes, spell ID plus equals node dot name. So he compiles all the nodes, names of all the nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, and then AB. Okay. So then spellcast false if greater than 0 for each spellcaster in, but we're passing it in, so current spell ID. So we're gonna do it here. If not casting, current spell ID. No. Current spell. We'll just set it to current spell. Castable. Equals spell object. Okay, so let me go look at the correct. Okay, so yes, cast spell, get spell ID. I don't see much of a purpose on this. I don't get that. I guess I'm just gonna comment it out for now. Levitatable. So comment out. If is levitating, okay. That's important, we'll leave that. That's important, okay. If rigid, wait. If it's kinematic, we want to turn off levitating. This makes kinematic add the option for puzzles that just need to set the position of something, but don't want it to alternate between gravity-enabled physics and okay, whatever. Oh, I think I get it. I think I get it. It's mainly if it's an object that can't be pushed around, because that's what the is kinematic is. So the cube that we have for testing, if I set that to is kinematic, I can't push it at all. But if we still wanted it to be a levitatable object, then this would still work. It's just we would anyway. Wait, we don't want it to alternate between gravity enabled physics and kinematic. Okay, gotcha. Oh, I think suspending. Gotcha. Because he's turning the gravity on and off here. So then for a regular rigid body that we have right now, I think if we made this object levitate to a certain point, then it would just fall back down. Because it's not kinematic, but if it is kinematic, it'll stay there, according to this. Get spell ID, okay, okay. So this looks fine. Let's go back to the magic manager. Okay. In fact, actually, I am gonna do public. String current spell ID. Make these private. These should be private. These should probably be private as well. Okay, so current spell ID, although I guess don't really need to do this. Spell object dot get spell ID. Gotcha. Okay. So this is fine for now. Start casting, end casting, that's all fine. So if we release and it is casting, then we need to do the cast spell. Give me this. Don't need that. Actually, yes, we do. But no, we don't. We have the spell ID. Oh, but we need to compare actually. But we don't need to search, we don't need to loop through all these spellcasters. We just need to compare it to the one we're casting with. For each. No. No. But we need if current spell ID that current spell dot cast spell. No overload. Nope, we just need to do cast spell. True spell. Do wait. The lock mouse. I think I get this. It wants to perform the lock mouse is dependent on the spell if it should lock the look. False. So let me look here. So when casting spell, if is levitating is true, it stops the levitation and starts it again. So on start. Oh, he completely disables gravity. Turns off the gravity, freezes all constraints on it. Is levitating is true. And then for this, on the update thing, he keeps moving it. What determines to end the spell though? On end spell. So wait, cast spell. So go through this and all that stuff. Cast spell this. Spell cast equals true. What's this then? Wait. If on mouse button up, mouse if spell is active. Start casting. In spell. If the spell is active in the spell, levitatable object. It is levitating. So start levitating. So does this, so if magic controller doesn't equal null and magic controller spell is active and is levitating. Spellcasters that wait. False. That sets it to false. I don't get it. I mean, I get some of this. So as long as, okay. Update trace. Updates the trace and stuff like that. Then when you're done, it does a check to see if, okay, not casting. Thing is, this was to start it, which we changed that. It is casting, which is where it is. Cast spell. We do the cast spell. Apparently we do the incast. Wait, cast spell. So you cast a spell. It builds, gets the spell ID. We compare it to the spellcaster or the castable in my situation. If they're equal, then cast spell. And then spellcast equals true. Wait, cast spell. So cast spell is called here on the levitatable object. Add listener in spell. If it is levitating, stop levitating. Else start levitating. Okay, well it would start levitating. So that would turn on. So then our update statement active is levitating stuff, so it would keep doing this, but until when? The only controls we have. Wait, end cast. If casting. Cast. Okay. Well, yeah, I've got that. So end spell, end cast. If is spell active, which that's the only place where it gets set to false, so only if the end spell is called. releases the given mouse button. I don't get that. I'm missing something. Like, is there a timer? Is there a limit? This check is important so we don't. Which the end spell. So adds a listener. Yeah. Okay, unstop levitate. End spell. That's only ever called here. That is true. Then cast spell. Which nothing to receive the cast in the spell. Well, I am honestly not too sure how this works. Okay, so cast spell, spells cast true. If it's false, then we end the spell. Need to get the end spell over here. Private void end spell. Which can be called. There are 3 references. There. So stop levitating. There's one called there. End the spell right away if they are deactivating the levitation. They're deactivating it? But where is that called? It looks like all the controls are handled here, but did I accidentally? Oh, what did I change on this? Oh, I didn't. Oops. Discard changes. I don't want to. I don't want to change any of that. So then maybe that's why I'm having issues, because In spell, okay. These are my scripts, my scenes and stuff. Just anything in here I don't want to touch. There we go. I also don't need these prefabs. Okay, cool. So, let's think here. So, cast spells. Lock, okay. In spell, which is fine. Let's go to here. So, on the cast spell, we have a listener for end spell. Is levitating, stop levitating. Okay, if it is levitating, stop it and start it. So when we start it, use gravity, freeze all, and true. Okay. Then we have an update statement down here. If the magic controller does not equal null and the magic controller dot is spell active and is levitating, then we do this. Wait, on the mouse y-axis. Input. Okay. So then we control it up and down. He demonstrates the video. He demonstrates it in the video. Fix, drag, releases. Hmm. I'm wondering. What about on the down? Hold on. So on up. Huh. I'm wondering why we're hearing a dog. Anyway. Date trace. And is cast. Alright. I think I have an idea how we want to do this. Does not exist. Text. Gotcha. Alright, so I need to get the end spell. So I have an idea how we can do this. Or I think I know how it's meant to be done. In casting, let's get the end spell here. Wait, there's an in casting and then there's an in cast. Oh. Gotcha. On in spell, evoke. Basically, that's just the castable. No. Current spell dot. Oh, we don't have an end. Wait. Levitating set the falls here. Hmm. This is very odd. I'm gonna take a quick break. Trying to figure this stuff out. Anyway, I will be back. I'll be back in a bit. In a bit. Alright, I'm back. So, right off the top of my head, I'm just trying to think on how this, the spell system will work. Because it looks like basically we interact with the object. Well, no. I don't know. Actually, maybe that is wrong. Because at the moment we have it where you interact with an object, but um what if it's a spell that doesn't require an object? Or I don't know, something like that. So then in this case, if you hit the mouse button, depending on if you find a castable object, if the raycast finds a castable object, then um then basically we pull up um the node, I don't know what to call it, um the spellcaster, I guess, and you do the drawing thing, which, okay, that comes up, you click on the node, you drag, and you release, and when you release, it does a check to see if what you already have is a spell. um on release, thing is, you release, you want to be able to manipulate stuff. I'd almost say when you do the pattern and you release on it and it then it would select the spell. Select the spell and then you can cast it, whatever. But I don't know. See, I can do some research here. I'm trying to get an idea on how this works. Why am I suddenly getting like insane notifications? Okay. Let's see here. Are there any? I wonder if there's any games that have that has this kind of system. Game with spell casting. No. Withdraw. With spell casting patterns. Spell casting 8. Wait a minute. What is this? Interesting. But this traces, not exactly. Android. Of course, an Android. I don't know, it's just wasn't too for this system to begin with. I just can't think of any good systems for this. Or any good examples of something like this. Magic game draw spells. Draw magical spells. Where you cast spells by drawing. Not multiplayer, but the old games play. Oh. Had a spell drawing mechanic. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. Dawn of Sorrow. Thing is, that's for Nintendo DS. Oh gosh. It looks like this was, yeah, this was for Nintendo DS. Which it's like, I don't know. If we were doing it on like if we were making this game for mobile, then that's one thing. But it's just, I don't know. This kind of spell system is not exactly what I was thinking. Items, locations, or character. Yeah, I'm not finding much as far as wait, magic seal system. Okay. I'm gonna have to see some gameplay though. Can I just find this? Oh, saw it. seal mechanic. I was gonna say if it was gonna be for opening the door, then that's not gonna help me all that much. Thought I saw it around here. Did I miss it or something? Nope, it's right there. It has been saved. Hmm. So it's more of a locking mechanism from what it looks like. I don't know. I'm just not seeing. I'm just not really seeing any this being a good system to implement. Wait, draw a magic spell. This looks like a this Ludum Dare Jam. How did this person do it? Okay. Where's the for free game spells? Okay, so I'm guessing there's 4 games here. Oh, I bet that's it. The spell down. I mean it's great, but not all that much from what we're doing. Hmm. I don't know. It's like in that situation that seems fine. It looks like it's just a 1v1 thing, but this is like an open world, like with spells and stuff. All right. I may have to consult with the rest of my team for more of this. Name on inspout does not exist in current context. end spell in casting current spell dot, because there is none. Is levitating. Cast spell. Well, let's take a look at our scenario. Okay, so in casting update trace, and then we basically want to cast the spell, current spell dot cast spell. And we want to end casting. Right? Now, as far as the end spell, wait, end casting. Whatever. Guess we're just gonna go with it. It'll just continuously move, I guess, or move to wherever. Which we should probably check. So where's our cube? Okay. So minimum Y. Yeah, okay. Give it a go. Okay, so we walk over here. Hit E. Oh, you're trying to read So something is wrong with trying to read input. Right here. Oh, because of this. Get access. Input manager dot instance dot look input dot y. There. Okay then. Interesting. Okay, it's going higher. It's going higher. Okay. There's no way to end it. Unless... I have been a doof this whole time. I just realized that there was... I don't know what my brain was trying to read here and all. It's a toggle. A freaking toggle. I just hit the same... Whatever does the casting spell, I just hit it again and it stops levitating. Alright, fine. So whatever calls this in the old code. If is casting... Mouse button up though. Okay. What I'm probably gonna do is do an actual, yeah, okay. I think I know how I'm gonna do this. We're gonna keep E as the interact. If interact input and no, okay. So okay. Yeah. Um we have a caster mechanic here. Or cast is casting is true and on cast. Okay, fine. We'll do the same thing. Except okay. We're gonna call it magic controller.cs. Alright. Looking at the old code, he has it here, the recasting part. So then I don't like that part. What I want to do is actually it's the same. What we want to do is when we hit the mouse button, it'll do a recast. Well, um, what if we want to do what if we wanted to do spells that were not object oriented? So there's a cast. Okay, cast spell. So then what we would do Well, first, let's get rid of this. We don't need that anymore. But we will do start hover on interact. Wait, no. Well, on interact on cast. We'll call it on cast. We do want these. There's a range. We'd want a range as well. But it's the same thing. It's still an interactable technically. So no, we want the same. It'll be the same thing. Start casting this. Although the magic manager is keeping hold of the castable technically. So we can stop it. Okay. So instead, well, that's fine. In casting put. Interaction controller. So roughly the same thing. The same. It is the same thing. It's just this part. So raycast for interactable. So we do a raycast, see if we have an interactable. If it is an interactable, which could be either a castable or a regular interactable, we can do all this logic and stuff like that. Except the only difference will be if okay. Hold on. If input dot instance dot we'll make this the interact input at the moment, but if okay, so if that was clicked and actually we do want to store that. But we do want to do, we store it now. The thing is, it's an interactable. Should I just do a completely, maybe I should just do a completely different system. Get component interact. Yeah, I'll just do a different system. Or it'll be close. So I'm gonna copy this. We're practically gonna have the same code here. Magic controller. Paste it here, but instead, this is an iCastable. We want the follow target, the range, yeah. I'm gonna set this. This is gonna be red. It's gonna be blue. Color dot blue. Of course. iCastable here. And range and stuff like that. All right, so the thing is, I want it to do the raycast on click. I don't want it constant. Well, no, I do, because I want the hover, otherwise the hovers won't work. Still practically the same code, though. Although I guess we'd have a different range, but it's still practically the same code. Whatever. All right. So dot on interact, although actually we do need to change this. So if current target. So this is the current target we are the object we are looking at. So the levitate part will be out of range though. Then we want to interact with it. Else, if the magic manager dot instance dot is we want to check if there's an active spell. Actually, so then these do need to be public. Dot is spell active. If there's a spell active, we want to end it. End spell. switch. Okay, so and then we want to do current spell dot cast spell, which it's a toggle, so it should toggle. Okay. Let's go back to our magic controller. Oh. End spell. Cool. Let's try this. So we need to put it on our player. So player, magic controller. The follow target is the same. There. Not sure technically we'll get two. Yeah, might have to combine those. I forgot. I need to change the input. So we actually need to have a new input here for cast. Fine. Mouse. Left button press. Cool. Save. Right, so let's go to our input manager. Excuse me. Here. Input manager. All right, so we have. I honestly should probably split these up. So it should be the same thing as on draw, except it's for up here. On cast. There we go. So that's wait. Cast and cast. So then we can go back to our magic controller and change this. No, not that. Wait. Yes, that actually. dot cast input. Still the same code though. Let me see if I can combine them. Actually, yeah, it'd probably be best to combine them because we're running it twice. Interaction controller. Wait, if oh, we don't need to know if it's a castable because the onInteract is doing it. So technically we're fine. Okay. Then this is pointless. Yep. Not delete it yet. Just in case, let's not delete it. Magic controller. So hit play. So then we should only get in one notification here. So that's not right. No, the panel didn't even show up, which is odd. Cast him, which is yeah, I need to see about fixing that. Cat. Oop. That function input cast. Then levitatable. This should do the whole start casting. Okay. That is not supposed to. Oh. We don't clear out the spell, that's why. That's why that still happened. That's kind of cool though. um okay. I need to go to the manager, so in casting. So on the cast spell. I don't want that. So is spell active? False. Current spell dot cast spell. Okay. And then current spell equals no. Hmm. Oh, I'm an idiot. There. Hmm. Weird that it just does it right off the bat. Hold on. Like the not even showing up anymore. Which is odd. What should be happening is click it, does this to start casting. It passes that in. Wait, passes this. Okay. Which is here. Mapping, swap the cameras. I have something like this. And target. Okay, so then on cast, else if on cast input. Not equal null. Interact. Hmm. Hmm. Casting. Prince. Wait. Yeah. Current target. Like as soon as I click it, something with the input. I put it under player. Mouse button. Okay. All right. Damn, we're so close. I don't understand what happened. So hold on. If I just use the old one, just use E. Still does it. One is here. One is here. Okay. Something is wrong. It is spell it. All right. Hmm. So for our interaction controller, go back. Let's comment this out. Try again. So it still does it. No matter what, it's not bringing up the interface anymore. Casting. Oh wait, if not casting. But I'm a little stumped. Alright. Well, I think that's all the time I have for today, but I mean, it's progress still. So thank you all for joining me. I plan on doing more of this tomorrow, and probably for the rest of the week. I just want to work with this. Hopefully I hear back from my team a little bit. Yeah, maybe I'll get some guidance on that. But thank you all for joining me, and I hope you have a good evening. See ya.